By the way, I'm a glasses girl now. I had to get glasses.
Wait, let me see. What? I'm increasing
Your
the
age
size
is
of your
catching up
picture.
to you.
Those look
Are
nice
these
on
gunners?
you. Those are good frames.
Thanks.
Why?
You had to get
Why'd you get them?
laptop.
I can't night drive without these glasses now. I can't see during the night.
Glasses.
You're gonna get
What
LASIK?
can't you see?
Everything's blurry at night. All the lights are like wah, like that.
Well, yeah,
Flashing,
they shouldn't be
flashing
making noise.
lights?
That's weird.
Yeah.
That might be a brain thing.
I had LASIK done 12 years ago, and I asked if I could get LASIK again, and they said that because my eyes were so bad when I got LASIK, there's nothing else to shave down, so
Jeez.
no, I can't.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Well, jeez.
I didn't know they're shaving things down. That sounds.
They
Maybe
shaved
maybe
down
that's
my
the problem.
cornea, But I could do something called like an IPK, where they do a little slice on your eye, and then they slide. Remember, like those little like glass petri dish things that you would get
Yep.
like in science class? They could just slide a little slide in there.
This is making me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't like this conversation.
Do you remember my
You don't like eye
$2,000?
talk?
No.
I don't like
remember
sliding
my-
things into my eyeball. Dude, the couple times I've ever had an eye exam, I literally got nauseous from getting my eyes
Jesus.
dilated.
Do you remember my $2,000 contact lenses that I
Yeah,
stopped
the-
wearing at during the pandemic?
Your
Yeah.
glass eyes?
Yeah, I have to go find out if I can start using them again because they've just been sitting in a container for 3 years untouched.
Probably not, because it's been in like contact lens solution, right? Which is basically
Yeah, which then
salt.
dissolves and disappears. So because like my eyes are starting, they're not
You're
getting
just gonna
worse.
go open the thing and there's gonna be
worse.
nothing in there.
Yeah, no, I did. I opened up and there was nothing in there, and I was like, ah, fuck, I don't know what to do
Oh, that's
anymore.
bad. They're all dried up, probably.
Yeah, but they're also
You
made
don't
out
wanna
of
put
glass, so
that.
can I just like clean them back? I don't know. I just don't want to spend $2,000 again on contacts. They were so hard to put in my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, you used to do that at work and just
Yeah.
use your little squeegee thing.
No, the
and then
suction cups. Yeah.
Yeah, the suction thing.
I
Yeah,
really
that was
want to
not
use
a
them
good
again.
sight to see.
It's so expensive.
I don't know why eye things creep me out so much, but yeah, I'm not. That sliding a slide in your eye? No, thank you.
Oh,
Not-
it's far less bad than LASIK. LASIK, they pry your eye open like Clockwork Orange style, and a nurse has to just keep like wetting your eye, otherwise it just dries out. And then they squish down your eyeball so that it's nice and flat, and then they
Yeah.
make you look at this laser, and they say, don't look at any of the other lasers, just look at the green one. But all the other lasers are so cool. And I asked them what happens if you looked at the other cool ones, and they're like, you don't want to do that.
I don't think I could get LASIK.
You
if
go
I had to.
blind.
Thank goodness my eyes have held up at least until now. Knock on wood.
Yeah, they'll start to go though. We're upper 30s is when they start to just deteriorate more.
That's right.
Nah,
You
I
might be
feel
a
great.
glasses girl too.
I'm wearing
Oh,
glasses.
so he's
right
gonna be a
now,
real
but these
cute
are-
glasses girl.
These glasses are protecting my eyeballs from getting worse. So
Well,
Got the gunners, huh? I'm gunning.
yeah, basically they're HyperX version, but yeah.
I'm using a new setup because my computer died. I'm on my laptop, so I hope all of this is recording okay for the fans listening. But I'm realizing you can see more of my room now, and it is a mess right now. I got like literally just like a Chucky doll like flung over the floor, looking at some board games. All right, great.
oh, that Chucky doll's creepy.
I just
Yeah.
have my mess closed in my closet. It's saying hi. There's like a little peek through the crack, but you can't really see the mess.
Well,
All right, enough room talk. Let's get rolling. Today, first of all, welcome to the OGSoG podcast. If you're watching here on YouTube, you are only seeing a part of the show. Over at Patreon, we have the full uncut episode for patrons, any tier. So do be sure to check that out. There's a link in the description. If you are watching this on Patreon, then thank you for your support. And
he said doobie.
huh?
You said doobie.
Doobie. And today we're doing something a little different. Usually we all send in...
Forgot Spotify.
Oh, what did I say first? And if you're listening...
Patreon.
You got
If you're
Spotify.
listening...
You can also listen to the whole thing on Spotify. Go.
You can also listen to the whole thing on Spotify, full and uncut. And yeah.
like so Hinky's penis.
Yeah. Well, he's Jewish. He's Jewish.
What?
Yeah.
No, it's very cut.
Oh.
Like it's really buff.
Yeah. Dude,
Got abs.
Dude, my dick
So
is
Hinky's
cut.
penis is the YouTube version of OGSoG podcast.
My dick is brolic, dude.
It's short and cut.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, today we have something a little different for you. Usually we all send in topics, but today we are just going to be going through this graphic that Joven found that is just kind of like...
Oh, no, don't let me take credit for this. This is a producer Paco
Oh, I'm
find.
sorry.
This was his
Producer
idea.
Paco found this graphic that just lists a bunch of categories: favorite game of all time, best story, favorite art style, and we just each throw a game up there. And yeah, so we're just going to be doing that. If you're watching on YouTube, that graphic will probably pop on screen. And if you're listening, just envision it in your mind. All right, so starting it off right off the bat, favorite game of all time. And I'm going to choose a person at random. Mari, go.
That's such a hard one to start with. Jeez.
Just pick it, dude. What's the one?
Man.
What's the first thing that
Okay.
shoots into your mind?
There's
Yeah.
like 3 that pop in my mind.
You gotta pick one though.
Oh, gosh, do you pick one that's playability? Do you pick one that's like just?
I think it's the
man.
overall.
What is
It's the
your favorite
overall.
game of all time? Yeah.
Consider, the fun that you had with it. You know what it
You
meant
could probably
to you.
go back and play it now and like with no qualms.
Okay, I'm gonna do 2. Because I think part
Breaking
of
the
it.
rules. I don't know. I feel like we shouldn't allow it. Host Lasercorn. What do you think?
You must pick one. Sophie's choice, this bitch.
All right. I think there are games that I like more for story reasons, obviously, but I think for what it means to me, I think Minecraft will still be my favorite game of all time.
There you
Okay.
go. I think that's a really good answer.
That's a good
Okay.
one.
And there is story to Minecraft, but I mean, yeah, it's
I don't know what it is.
You very much create your own story the way that we played. I also love that I can play with my nephews right now too. But there's other, story-driven games that's different, like Witcher and Ghost of Tsushima and Breath of the Wild very much come to mind.
Wow,
as
breaking the
as-
rules
as the
immediately.
ones.
Just had to get him out.
And when Lasercorn told you to Sophie's choice.
I said it. Minecraft. Move on.
Jovenshire, you're up.
Mass Effect 2. I think story-wise and gameplay-wise were absolutely fantastic. The music in that game, this might not count for the game itself, but the trailers leading up to the game, we get my boy Morden for the first time ever. I'm going to try to make sure that Mass Effect 2 isn't the majority of my picks on this specific list. But I think right off the top, favorite game of all time has to go to Mass Effect 2. It just does.
That's fair.
Makes sense.
So Hinkadink.
Mine is the original Last of Us. The original Last of Us. I mean,
Good
it's
pick.
I don't often play through story games, but like, man, the story of this one really caught me. I thought they made like all of the right narrative decisions. Like it was all the characters were like deep and complex and like tragic. It's pretty much I think it's the only game that's ever made me cry. And on top of that, it had one of the best multiplayers of all time that some people still to this day don't even know existed. But the multiplayer was phenomenal too.
Mm-hmm.
It was like during the height of one of my worst video game addictions, Dota 2, and I like pretty much didn't play Dota for like a couple months because I was just playing Last of Us multiplayer. It was so fun. And the story is incredible, and I can't wait for the HBO show.
I've skipped ahead in some of these questions. These questions or like these categories are going to get a lot more difficult to choose from.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We're not making it a rule where we can't say the same answer, right?
Try not to as much as you can, but no, there's
yet.
definitely going to be some overlap for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's mine. Corn.
Yeah, I think I have to go with. So let's go with this. Let's say my favorite game of all time is Warcraft 2, Tides of
Okay.
Darkness. I have a lot of really
like
good
that.
memories from playing dial-up modem to modem, and I know Joven said a game that you could still go back and play. I don't know that I would still really go back and play it and enjoy it as much, but as far as just having really good memories of that game, playing against my friends, the first time I saw the cutscenes with the, it had the multiple endings where the orcs could win or the humans could win and blow up the portal. So yeah, I really enjoyed that game. I liked it a lot. and I think that's my favorite game of all time. I remember for one of my birthdays too, my dad took us all to, I don't think they have them anymore, but like a LAN center where they just had a bunch of computers networked up, and we played 4-on-4 Warcraft 2 with 4 of us on each team, and it was a lot of fun. People attacking each other with dragons and stuff. It was great. Yeah. So I'll go with Warcraft 2.
Nice.
Number 2, best story. Which game had the best story?
I'll go first.
Okay, go for it.
This is a little cheaty because it's the one on this list already, but Red Dead Redemption 2. I cried. I won't tell you why I cried because it's a spoiler in the end, but
I will get to it. I will get to it.
But yeah, I was highly engrossed in the story. As much as I'm a side quest person, I was still highly engrossed in the story itself. It's got like so many emotional ties to things. I think there's a lot of daddy issues stuff in it. I think there's a lot of like staying within a crowd that you're probably shouldn't be in.
What are you trying to say?
This is the talk that I've been meaning to have. I'm just kidding. Yeah, and it's all set within like the Wild West, which is something that I've always been intrigued by for some reason. I don't know. I like it. Yeah. Cowboys, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been waiting forever for a really good Wild West shooter, like multiplayer shooter. That's like something I've been dying for. I
mean, what about RDR2's online? Did it not do it for you? Because it didn't for me either, which is pretty tragic considering how much I love GTA and then how much I loved RDR2, but then the online just wasn't there.
I mean, one thing is you can't have competitive multiplayer modes that have auto aim. Like that just doesn't do it. So that completely took me out right away.
It's also the mechanics, like the gameplay mechanics of just movement. It's not accurate. Awkward. It's a little not. It's not floaty, but you get like the extra steps because the character needs to balance because you actually.
Well, yeah,
see
it's like
feet.
The character has momentum that is like supposed to be realistic, so you can't pivot and change directions quickly. And
I see.
Okay, Joven.
For best story, she said Red Dead 2, and I was gonna go with the first one, but to kind of keep this specific category clean, it was a tie for me. It was Last of Us or Red Dead 1, and so I'll go with Last of Us. I think story-wise, it took me a while to get into that game. I did play it later than most other people. And as a zombie fan, I, of course, was walking in with some bias. I was going to love this anyways. But their take on the zombie was way cooler. Just the opening of Last of Us alone, like, you get so much for Joel's character and why he's helping this girl later on. Like, it's a perfect game. Like, it's not my favorite game of all time, but best story, Last of Us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Hinky?
In the interest of not saying the same answer, I'm gonna go with The Darkness 2. The Darkness.
That was a great story.
The story is phenomenal. So for those of you that don't know, basically this mobster inherits this ancient evil energy called the Darkness that basically gives him superpowers. It's based on a comic book. And then in the sort of like revenge ploy to like kind of try and get the power from him, they end up like murdering his girlfriend, and then it's like becomes a revenge story of him getting revenge on them for killing his girlfriend. But the story is very interesting in that game because you're going through this mob story, but then you keep on waking up, so to speak, or in his case, he's going to sleep in an insane asylum. And it becomes this really interesting thing of like which one of these realities is real. Is he insane and he has these insane delusions about being a mobster that has this ancient evil power? Or is he like going to sleep and thinking that he's in an insane asylum because like the nurse looks like your dead girlfriend, and there's like it ends up ending in this like choose your own ending thing where you kind of like decide which reality is real for yourself. It's a really cool like sort of, and it's like romantic and sad, and I don't know why I like sad stories in video games, but
You want to feel something. I get it.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a really cool story, and it's a really cool like kind of way to play with what's the right reality here. It's cool.
Nice. Did we get everybody except me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Portal, the original Portal.
Nice.
It was a very simplistic story, but the way it evolved and the way you kind of had to figure out what was going on, and the way if you didn't know what was up, and it gradually kind of dawns on you that the person running the test is an evil sentient AI that's not just here to help you through some tests, and like just the way they reveal things, just kind of as you're walking around, you see like scrawling, stuff scrawled on the walls behind the testing areas where people have been hiding out and stuff, and I just thought it was a great story, and I like that one. And very
Nice.
simplistic but straightforward. Evil computer running you through tests and trying to kill you, and yeah, I thought it was great.
I just realized we're kind of doing this around the time of the video game awards, and this is super
Oh,
appropriate.
yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
Very
Didn't even
relevant.
think of that.
All right, favorite art style. I haven't gone first yet, so I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna say Breath of the Wild.
Nice.
I don't know what it is about Breath of the Wild, but and maybe I'm just impressed that they managed to do something on the Switch that just looked so beautiful. But when you see the divine beasts and everything, I'm like, holy crap! You could play Switch handheld, but like I wanted to play it on the big screen. I'm like, no, I can't play this handheld. I need to see this on the big screen. And yeah, I don't know. They just the way the grass is, the way everything looks in that game was just amazing. I like bright colors and stuff too. I've complained about like movies and stuff, Dune, that have just like kind of drab, monotone palettes, and I don't like. And Breath of the Wild's kind of the opposite of that. So yeah, and it managed to have bright colors and stuff without feeling like overloading my senses or offensive to my senses. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I think when it comes to Legend of Zelda's always had a lot of neat art styles, but I feel like that one's a very definitive one.
Yeah.
It has some bold choices, but still feels the most grounded.
Yeah, it's a beautiful game.
Yeah, agreed. It's very like there's anime aesthetics to it without being like overtly in your face with it.
Yeah.
It's such a good. That's a really good pick.
Oh, thank you. You got one for us, Mari?
You know what? I'm gonna put one out there, and I don't know if it's my favorite, but it is definitely unique. Trek to Yomi was very, very unique in the way that like it pulled you in and out in a cinematic way. It's a black and white, very Kurosawa type of game. Aesthetically, the game mechanics are very simplistic in the sense that it doesn't, for me, it didn't keep my attention for very long, but it was really the art style that kept it there. And it's, they use like wind and rain the way that Kurosawa would use in his films. And so it was really, really neat. It was really pretty.
Cool. Good one. Joven, what do you got for us?
I'm gonna, I've especially following Mari. I was gonna say Okami because I feel like that game needs to be mentioned. It's like this watercolor Japanese style art style, where you play like this wolf, and it's absolutely gorgeous. But if I was to pick, and I appreciate that. But if I was to pick a favorite, I think what they did with Cuphead was just brilliant.
Oh, that's a great one.
Frame by frame animation. It took like years and years and years longer to make just because they were trying to do it in a very particular way. It hits home for me with the cartoons that I grew up that I loved. So I think Cuphead, when it comes to art style, that one takes a cake.
Great pick, Joven.
Yep.
Yeah.
Swanky?
For my favorite art style, I'm gonna go with the Ori series, Ori and the Blind Forest. And Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Good answer. Good answer.
It's just like these like the hand drawn backgrounds, but like everything is like so bright and like beautiful and like contrasted, of course, with like the darkness of like the villain character and where they come
Wispy.
from. And
It's not.
I want to like that game. I'm just so bad at
It's hard.
platformers. I suck so bad.
I remember I had no clue about the game, but Mari, my wife had seen it and she started playing it and she cried so hard at the first 5 minutes of that game. I was like, what are you playing?
Yeah.
But because it was so
They
difficult, she
Pixar'd it.
couldn't. Yeah, they super Pixar'd it. She couldn't get too far into the game because of the difficulty. So I kind of took over and I was like, this game is phenomenal.
Yeah. You know what? Julia, she hadn't played video games basically since like Aladdin, like the old ones, and she picked up Ori and she beat both of them. She just got really into playing those games. I guess just because she liked the platforming, felt familiar,
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's cool.
I think it's really digestible and it's beautiful to look at.
Okay. Moving on. Favorite soundtrack. Ooh.
Easy.
I mean,
Go ahead, Joven.
Mega Man X. Mega Man X.
Mega Man X has a good soundtrack.
Every stage, phenomenal.
I was gonna say Mega Man 2. Mega Man 2 is my favorite.
The debate
I know
continues.
we've had this discussion before, but yeah. So I don't know. Whoever's doing the music for Mega Man's just crushing it.
Yeah. Mari?
I'm gonna say, and this is coming from somebody who is not a long-term Legend of Zelda fan. I became a fan from Breath of the Wild, but I've choreographed a ton to Legend of Zelda music beforehand, and it has continued into Breath of the Wild as well. Everything from Gerudo Valley to Song of Storms. It's just so good. And then the Hateno Valley song. There's something very Lord of the Rings, like going back to the Shire type of feeling to the Hateno Valley song. And I just, or the Hateno Village, I should say. Something about coming home is what it feels like. I love that. Yeah.
The flute?
So good. The flute, yeah.
Or is that
There's something about you've gone through a journey and you're coming back to the place that you call home, and there's little townspeople around, and it's just I don't know, it feels really warm and cuddly.
Yeah.
I threw out Mega Man X so quickly. I do need to give some love to Donkey Kong Country 2. Also phenomenal. I listen to that creatively a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I'll put that on while I'm doing work. The soundtrack is Bramble Scramble, those stages where it got very wispy and beautiful. There's some great tracks in Diddy's Conquest.
I can't
Man.
recall the music from that game, but when you said that, I just got this image of you sitting there in headphones and it's just ape sounds playing in your ears.
I very much the winding that dun 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 in the beginning, right? What what I'm talking about?
For DKC2?
Yeah. It's
when they're on the pirate ship in the beginning.
No, it's this is my dumb kid memory, and I don't know if it's correct, but it's the old ape, and he's on a
where he's got the
gramophone.
Yeah.
That's the memory that I have.
So that was in the
song.
first game. I don't think that was really, they didn't do that bit in the second one.
Oh, they didn't? Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe I'm thinking of the first one.
So,
Dun, dun, dun,
yeah,
dun, dun. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a soundtrack that really sticks out in my head. But you know what one song is stuck with me forever, and it still plays in my head whenever something good happens, is the victory song from Final Fantasy VII. Ba, 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 ba,
Dun, 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 dun.
So I'm just gonna give it to FF7 because why not?
I also want to give
it is a good soundtrack.
in the interest of not saying a second Mega Man game, I also want to give an honorable mention to Quake 2. Quake
Oh, okay.
2's soundtrack is pretty phenomenal. It's just hardcore rock. It's what you'd expect it to be, but it's awesome.
Lasercorn in Final Fantasy VII, do you remember the Chocobo music?
Yes. Now that you do it, I do remember it. Yeah.
Yeah, music
Yeah,
was
it had a
great
good
in that
soundtrack.
game.
It was great. All right, thank you so much for watching here on YouTube. We have more categories for you over on the Patreon. Please check that out, link in the description. Or if you want to hear the full version of this episode, you can check that out on Spotify. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments what your selections for these categories would be, and let us know if you want to see more of these. All right, bye-bye.
This is also an ending for the podcast episode too. Like we can still use it, but there's podcast and Patreon users listening to this too. So thanks to them and goodbye to them as well.
If you're watching on Patreon, thank you so much for your support. If you're listening to us on Spotify, then also thank you for listening. And we hope you enjoyed us being in your ear holes.
If you're listening to us on Spotify, you bunch of freeloaders, go give us money on Patreon, you sons of jerks.
If you're listening
Sons of
to
jerks.
us on Spotify, you're one of 3 people listening to us on Spotify.
Thank you so much for watching this video here on YouTube. Remember, over here on the side, you see all the people supporting the channel on Patreon. You too can become one of those people by clicking the link down below and joining our Patreon. We just love that you're here watching the content. We hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you later.